The moment your English actually starts moving isn't in a classroom. It's the moment you catch yourself thinking in English without meaning to. Hey, welcome back to English Everyday Show. I'm Chloe.
I'm Jake, and today we're going after the step nobody teaches, the one happening inside your head.
Mateo was sitting at a red light on Colfax Avenue in Denver when he realized he had spent the last 10 minutes arguing with his boss, in English, and he hadn't noticed he was doing it. The light turned green. He just sat there.
Somebody honked at him, I assume.
Two people honked at him. But here's the thing about Mateo. 6 years of English, night classes, apps, an entire shelf of grammar books, and every single time he opened his mouth, he built the sentence in Spanish first, translated it, checked it, and then said it. About 3 seconds too late for anybody to still be waiting.
Which is exhausting. That's real work, every sentence.
It's enormous work. And that morning at the light, his brain skipped it. Same vocabulary he'd had for years. Nothing new. What changed was what he'd been making his brain do every single day.
So today comes in 3 parts, and they stack. Part A is getting the monologue in your head to switch over, the small, stupid, everyday stuff. Part B is what to do the second you hit a word you don't have, because that's where most people quit and run straight back to translating. And Part C is the habit itself, 5 minutes a day, what it actually looks like.
15 pocket words, 9 broken sentences we fix, and 1 role play at the end where somebody genuinely gets stuck and has to work their way out live. Stay for that one. Let's start where Mateo started, which is much lower than people expect. Not sentences, nouns. For the first week, all you do is name things. You walk through your apartment, and your brain goes, keys, jacket, coffee mug, the door. That's it. No grammar, no full thoughts, no pressure.
And people hate this part, because it feels too easy to count as studying.
It doesn't feel like studying at all, but it builds the exact thing that's slowing you down, which is speed of access. When you know a word and it still takes you 2 seconds to find it, those 2 seconds are the whole problem. Naming objects is pure retrieval practice, and it's the only drill that fixes it.
Okay, so week 2 we upgrade. Now you narrate what you're doing, and this is where the present continuous finally earns its keep. I'm making coffee. I'm looking for my keys. I'm standing in line and this guy is taking forever. Notice the shape, I'm, plus the ing form, because it's happening right now, in front of your face.
And you don't get to choose the topic. Whatever your hands are doing, that's the sentence.
Right. Then the third layer adds a little time, so you're not trapped in one tense. Push forward. I'm going to check my email. I'm about to leave. And pull backward, just slightly. I just missed the bus. I already ate. Present, near future, near past. You do not need the perfect conditional to narrate a Tuesday.
And here's the rule that saves everybody, so please actually hear this one. Narrate the boring stuff. Do not narrate philosophy.
Say more about that.
Everybody tries this the same wrong way. They decide to start thinking in English, and then they immediately aim at something enormous, their career, whether they're happy, the meaning of their life. And their English collapses in about 4 seconds, and they conclude they're bad at English. You're not bad at English. You picked a topic you couldn't discuss smoothly in your first language either.
That's fair. I couldn't narrate the meaning of my life in English, and it's the only language I have.
Nobody can. Dishes, laundry, traffic. Your brain needs reps, not depth. And the last piece? Some of this should happen out loud, and some of it stays in your head. In your head is for the grocery store, where strangers can see your face. Out loud is for the car, the kitchen, the shower.
The car is the greatest English classroom in America, and nobody ever mentions it.
Pocket words. 5 for part A. Number 1. Narrate. To describe what's happening as it happens. I narrate my whole morning now.
2. I'll give you the sentence and you tell me what it means. Say it out loud, not in your head.
Out loud, using your actual voice loud enough for another person to hear. The opposite of silently.
And 3 and 4 go together, so take them both.
Happily. A running commentary is a non-stop description of what's happening. Sportscasters do it for a living. She gave me a running commentary of the entire drive. And on autopilot means doing something automatically, without thinking about it. I drove home on autopilot.
Number 5 is one you'll reach for every day. Come to mind, to pop into your head. Say the first word that comes to mind.
Smooth it out. 3 sentences. I say them wrong, you fix them. Number 1. I am thinking in my language always.
That always is homeless. It belongs in front of the verb, and we don't want the ing here because this is a habit, not this second. I always think in my own language.
Number 2 is a personal favorite. Every day I speak with myself.
Which sounds like you're holding a meeting.
Like you scheduled it. We talk to ourselves. Speak is a little formal, and with turns it into an appointment. Every day I talk to myself.
Last one, and it's the article trap. I am making the coffee now.
Drop the, because coffee in general doesn't take one. And now wants to be right now. Or it sounds like an announcement to a courtroom. I'm making coffee right now.
Role play. Kitchen, 8 in the morning. I'm your roommate. You've been in here a while.
Okay, I'm filling the kettle. I'm looking for where are the filters? I'm opening the wrong drawer again. That is the second time.
Were you just talking to yourself?
Out loud? Yes. On purpose.
Is it, though? Because from the hallway it looked involuntary.
I narrate my morning in English now. Just the boring stuff. Coffee, keys, whatever my hands are doing. It's not a conversation. I'm only describing things. 5 minutes, that's all.
Huh, and that actually works?
My teacher said the first word that comes to mind should be English, and mine never was. Now it is about half the time.
Okay, that's actually smart. Weird, but smart.
Everything good is weird first.
Then narrate the dishes tonight, out loud, at full volume. You did them on autopilot yesterday, and you missed a whole pan. Quick thing before part B. Everything we just did assumes you have the words, but the second you hit one you don't have, and you will, mid-sentence, standing in front of an actual human being, the whole thing collapses, and you go straight back to translating.
That's part B, and there's a fix. Subscribe first. Yuki was in a hardware store in Sacramento holding an empty oil bottle, and what she needed was a funnel, and she did not have the word funnel.
I would have mimed it. Badly.
She stood in aisle 6 for a full minute waiting for the word to arrive. It did not arrive. And that minute is what I want to talk about, because it's the exact moment people give up on thinking in English.
And that minute has a cause, which is not the one people assume. You're not frozen because your English is bad. You're frozen because you've decided there is one correct word, you don't have it, and so you've stopped the entire sentence to go hunting for it. Native speakers lose words all day long. The difference is, they don't stop. They go around.
And going around has a shape you can learn. 3 templates. The first one, it's the thing you use to pour oil into a small hole. That's a funnel. Anyone in that store gets it in 2 seconds.
Second, it's like a blank, but blank. It's like a cone, but it's open at the bottom. You borrow a word you already have, and then you bend it.
And the third one is for actions and situations instead of objects. It's when you can't remember a word and you get stuck. That one covers concepts, feelings, anything abstract.
And can I say, describing something well is a higher skill than knowing the word for it. Anybody can memorize funnel off a list, explaining it under pressure, to a stranger, in your second language, while he waits. That is real English, and it works on every word you'll ever forget.
The next move is the simplest, and people forget it's allowed. Just ask. How do you say this in English? What's the word for the thing that holds a door open? What do you call this? Those are normal sentences, not an admission of defeat.
And the last piece is the mindset one. Close enough is fine. If the other person got the gist, the general idea, you succeeded. Nobody is grading you.
And when you're not sure it landed, there's one phrase that rescues everything. You know what I mean? 4 words. It hands the sentence to them and keeps the conversation alive.
So, what happened to Yuki?
She finally said, I need the thing you use to pour oil without spilling it. And the guy said, funnel, aisle 4, 9 seconds.
5 new pocket words, and I'll open with a confession. I got stuck last week trying to remember the word for the little plastic tip on a shoelace.
So, get stuck. To be unable to keep going. I get stuck every time somebody asks about my job. And the thing you do about it is number 2. Work around something.
To find a way past a problem without solving it directly. I didn't know the word, so I worked around it. And 3, come up with, to think of something, usually fast. I couldn't come up with the word.
4 is close enough. Not perfect, but good enough for the situation. I said water thing instead of faucet, and honestly, close enough.
And 5, the gist. The general idea of something, without the details. I didn't catch every word, but I got the gist.
3 more. Number 1 is the most common question on earth, asked incorrectly. How to say this in English?
It's a question, so it needs a subject and a helper verb. How do you say this in English? That little do you in the middle does all the work, and it turns a fragment into a real question.
And it works everywhere. How do you spell it? How do you pronounce it? Number 2. I forget the word.
Tense problem. If it happened 30 seconds ago, it belongs in the past. I forgot the word. I forget the word means you forget that particular word every single time, always, permanently, for life.
Which, to be fair, is sometimes accurate. Last one. I can't explain it with English.
Languages take in English, in Spanish, in Japanese. I can't explain it in English. Role play, hardware store, I work here, and you need something you don't have the word for.
Hi. Okay, fair warning. I'm going to get stuck here. What do you call the thing you use to pour oil into a really small hole?
Like for a car?
For a car, yes. It's like a cone, but it's open at the bottom, so the oil goes through it.
A funnel.
Funnel. Thank you so much. And one more, and I'm working around this one too. The little metal piece at the very end of a measuring tape?
The hook.
The hook. Okay. That is so much simpler than what I came up with in my head.
What did you come up with?
The grabbing part.
Honestly, close enough. I knew what you meant.
And that, right there, is the entire lesson of this episode. Try this right now. Find one object in your room you don't know the English word for, describe it in one sentence, and drop it in the comments. We'll guess.
And stay, because knowing how to do this is worthless if you do it for 3 days and quit.
Rosa was a student of mine, and she is the least impressive success story I've got. 5 minutes a day. That's the whole thing. For a year.
Least impressive, most useful.
Correct. And the reason it worked is the part everybody skips. She never tried to build a new habit. She attached it to one she already had. Every morning she brushed her teeth, and while she brushed her teeth, she narrated her day out loud through a mouthful of toothpaste. 2 minutes. Then the drive to work. 3 more.
So the trigger is already sitting in your life. You're not scheduling English, you're stapling it onto something.
Exactly. Because I'll practice sometime today dies quietly by noon, every time, while the coffee brews survives. Because the coffee is happening whether you're motivated or not, and your motivation was never going to show up on a Wednesday anyway.
Second piece is shadowing, and it's the one people do wrong. You put on a podcast or a show, and you repeat what the speaker says about half a second behind them, out loud, at their speed, not after the sentence, during it, chasing them.
And what exactly are you copying? Because it isn't the words.
It is not the words, it's the melody, where their voice goes up, where it drops, where they rush 3 words together and then pause. That music is the difference between correct English and English that sounds like a human being, and you can't learn it silently. You have to physically make the shapes.
And that's the third piece, so let me say it plainly. Some of this has to happen out loud. Your brain and your mouth are 2 separate students. You can think a perfect sentence and still not be able to say it, because your face has never made those movements before.
That's why so many people understand everything and can't speak. The input is fine, the mouth has 0 reps.
And the last piece is the one nobody warns you about. You'll hit a stretch where nothing improves. Weeks of it. That's normal. It's the part right before it clicks, and it's also the part where everybody quits.
And you'll miss days.
You'll miss a week. Rosa missed 2, in July. And the sentence she said when she came back was, I slipped up for a week and picked it back up. No speech about discipline. She just started again on a Tuesday.
Missing a week costs you a week. Deciding you're a failure costs you the year.
5 last pocket words. Stick with it. To keep going with something difficult instead of quitting on it. It was boring for a whole month, but I stuck with it anyway.
And it's much more cheerful, cousin. Keep it up. To continue doing something you're already doing well. You say it to encourage somebody. Your accent is getting better. Keep it up.
3 is slip up. To make a small mistake or to fail to do the thing you plan to do. I slipped up and skipped 3 days in a row.
4. Build up. To increase something gradually, a little at a time. Start with 5 minutes and build up from there.
And number 5 is Rose's whole year compressed into 2 words. Jake?
Pay off. When effort finally produces a result, a year of 5-minute practice really paid off.
Final 3. Number 1. I practice English since 2 years.
2 fixes. Since is for a starting point. Since 2019. Since March. For a length of time, you want 4. And an ongoing habit that started in the past takes the present perfect continuous. I've been practicing English for 2 years.
Number 2. I will try to more practice.
The word order got scrambled, and honestly, will try to isn't doing anything for you except sounding unsure. I'm going to practice more. More goes after the verb, not in front of it.
And number 3, which I hear from people whose English is already strong. My English is improve.
You've already got is in there, so the verb has to take the ing. My English is improving. 3 letters on the end, and it becomes a completely different sentence. Role play. Walking out to the parking lot after work. We're co-workers.
Hey, I've been meaning to ask you something. Your English got so much better this year. What did you actually do?
Nothing dramatic. 5 minutes a day while I brush my teeth.
That's it?
That's it. I started with 2 minutes and built up from there. Some days I just talk to myself in the car on the way in.
Did you ever stop?
Oh, I slipped up for all of August, vacation, and then I just didn't pick it back up for a while.
But you kept it up after that.
I stuck with it, yeah. It took about 8 months before I noticed anything at all, and then all at once it paid off.
8 months is a long time to see nothing.
It's 5 minutes a day. What else was I going to do with it?
All right, everything at once. Vet's waiting room. We're strangers. Your dog is enormous and mine is not.
Sets the scene beautifully.
Doesn't it? Here we go. He's beautiful. What's his name?
Ollie, sorry, I'm a little slow today. I've been talking to myself in English all morning and my brain's still in it.
Wait, on purpose?
On purpose. I narrate everything now. Feeding him, finding my keys, the drive over here, boring stuff. Out loud, mostly in the car. 5 minutes a day. That's the whole system.
Huh. And that actually helps?
It took forever, but it has really paid off. He's here for, okay, I'm stuck. It's the thing you use to, it's like a collar, but it's a cone, and it stops him from licking the stitches. You know what I mean?
The cone. The plastic cone.
The cone. Close enough. 6 months ago, I would have just stopped talking.
And instead you went around it.
Now I go around it. That's the only thing that changed. I still forget words constantly. I just don't stop the sentence anymore.
How long have you been doing the narrating thing?
About a year. I slipped up a lot. I kept it up anyway.
And scene. Quick recap. Part A. Narrate the boring stuff. Keys, coffee, traffic. Out loud whenever you can. Part B. When you get stuck, don't stop. It's the thing you use to, it's when you, and close enough is fine. Part C. 5 minutes attached to a habit you already have, out loud, and expect to slip up.
Next episode, we go the other direction, into your ears. How to understand fast English speakers, and why native speakers sound like they're deleting half the words. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and send it to the person who keeps saying they're too old to start.
They're not. Narrate one boring thing today, out loud, in English. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.